I'm a man who was born in the middle of wars. Wars where my body and story is underneath. I had to find it in the rubbles of white power structure, white supremacy. So for me, 24 hours war is being suspicious of everything, including the technology. Every camera, I don't just embrace. I was telling Brad the other day, a lot of people misunderstand. I don't love film. I hate film because it was used against me. It was used against my psyche. It was used against my people. So I'm not like this blind, film, I'll kill to do film. No, I'm suspicious of cinema. It has destroyed Native Americans, so many Latin Americans, their history destroyed by this 100 years history of this weapon. In fact, Latin Americans call it the new hydrogen bomb. So why would I love cinema? I never. From day one, I was not. I look like I love film when I talk shots and film grammar and my students to make them work hard. I sound like I love film, but it's a misinformation I'm giving out.
Was there a film that you saw in your developing years that made you say, aha, I have to make film?
Yeah. The Power of Cinema, Ousmane Sembène, his film Black Girl, Borom Sarat opened my eyes. Latin American films, The Hour of the Furnace by Solanas, The Blood of the Condor by Sanjinas from Bolivia, Miguel Litin, The Jackal. My brother, Latin America, even American filmmakers that are going around not paying tribute were influenced by Cuban films like Memories of Underdevelopment. So when I was at UCLA, these are the movies that I was attracted to when I saw the power of the cinema.
So in terms of the pyramids that you're leaving behind, how do you see your legacy thus far?
Imperfect. I did my best. I'm proud of all the films I've made because never did I make any one of my films having a silent power in my head telling me what film, what story to tell. Every story I did, I'm driven by it. I'm driven by it from internal. They existed, they became, in spite of the cliche discussion. For example, when I did Sankofa, hey, doing slavery movie, that's the end of you. Slavery is not, that's the last thing to touch. No, it comes, I pick, and then it became a vocabulary. Sankofa is now part of the words of things. I'm proud of that. My film is imperfect, but the movement is powerful. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So Bush Mama, I made that film. I imagined it. I gave birth of it. And thanks to the camera people, the actresses that gave me free labor and collaborated in shaping it to be a filmmaker of intensity. But it's an imperfect film. Ashes and Embers, the same way. All my films are imperfect, but they have one driver, obsessed, unrelentingly uncompromising, and that's Haile. I don't compromise. Are my films the greatest? No. If black people embrace them, it's because they didn't compromise them. Because black people know when a movie opens, they know it's against them. They are being compromised. Well, in the opening credit, they'll tell you, even when we came to the theater, like in Baltimore, when black folks heard we produced it, they could not believe it. And they would go applauding and putting money and leaving money to us because they do not want to be silently mortgaged by nice, do-gooder white people who would make film for them now and then. And then black people are asked to be grateful. By the white woman who did Imitation of Life, who wrote Imitation of Life, she called Sterling Brown when he criticized the film and said, you people are ungrateful. I give you a chance to be in a movie. That's how they think down there.
Well, that was an exciting time. Ushered in by She's Gotta Have It. And, you had Sidewalk Stories and Sankofa and Daughters of the Dust, Hollywood Shuffle. There were a lot of independent films being made at that time by black people, directed by black people, that it was just an exciting time.
I don't think it was an exciting time.
No?
For you it is, looking at it now. It's a hard labor time. It's a very, very difficult time. The films, don't be deceived by their look and their claim. Even what I'm saying now was very difficult to find, to finish, You know, how long it took Charlie to finish To Sleep with Anger. You know, the difficult, I'm sure, you know, I know very little. Daughters of the Dust, very difficult. But the Spike thing is another planet, meaning they come after this movement has established itself in New York, LA, wherever they were being made. Spike is buttressed by these things that happened as he was coming in. Ernie Dickerson, who shot for him, I used to show him these LA films here as a student at Howard. I even feel Mo Better Blues is indebted to Larry Clark's film Passing Through, because Passing Through was the first film that put the idea of jazz in colorful African-American cinematic accent for the first time. I'm not saying that film established an amazing, and I knew, and I showed Ernie that film a lot. And I'm sure, Spike Lee had seen them. I saw him when he was a student at Clark, where I showed Child of Resistance. We had a brief encounter. I remember him very well, because he's a very insistent person. He used to come to Howard also. So they have to know this had impacted on them. But not only this, Sam Ben Ousmane has played a major role in influencing African-American cinema. Because here's an African man in Africa making his own movie in his own language. That is now, you know, when I first saw his film, the fact Africans spoke their own language, not English, not French, that was like a heart attack case for me. I was grateful. And I said, damn, does it mean my characters can speak their own language? And that's how Harvest was made.
So last thing, I'd ask Bradford, do you think real, true black cinema can exist within the Hollywood system?
No. There's no truly, really, truly white cinema now anymore. In the way we know white cinema like Citizen Kane, or, you know, even John Ford, however racist he was, even white film has become a clone. It has become plastic. It's become the human part of white story. Even, you know, the literature like Faulkner and all those guys, you know, the American greats, Grapes of Wrath cannot be made now. Taking its time, you know, for Henry Fonda to just do his monologue. Now he has to sell his chest, if not a Coke, if not a jacket, if not a fashion. So even white films are in trouble. Forget black people, Native Americans, etc. White films are in trouble. White cinema is in its decadent era. It's mutated to be stupid. Some of the best white filmmakers don't even make movies anymore. They make wine or make spaghetti. They stop because they say, I can't be silly and stupid. And most of them will tell you the films they made in the 1960s, 70s, 80s cannot be made now, because this doggy industry has become a garbage disposal. So what you see is white garbage decorated by black garbage. Okay, now Hispanic and Asian garbage, mix all that. It's supposed to be multicultural gratification. No, it's capitalism concocting its own gumbo to still live more years exploiting people.
Your tutelage.
Yeah.
You should write it abbreviation-wise. What's wrong with you? Yetutlij. You have it.
That's right there.
Yeah.
And child of.
Yetutlij. Child of is her creation.